Pleased to be joined now by Senator Bill Cassidy, one of the hardest working members in that chamber. Good morning, Senator. How are you?
I'm great, Tommy. How are you, man?
I'm well, and I mean that sincerely. You always got something cooking.
Yeah, well, my gosh. I've been sent here. I got the honor of representing the state of Louisiana in the United States Senate, and I'm going to do the absolute best I can to respect that honor.
It always seems like you're moving and shaking hands and making deals.
Yeah, well, we got some big things going on. Just passed an opioid bill. We got lots of things in that opioid bill. I hate to say it, but in the St. Tammany, Jefferson, Orleans, there is a huge opioid crisis. And we're trying to get resources down both to the state and local officials. What can we do to hopefully fight that crisis to benefit those families, to help those patients?
And as a physician, Senator, what is your take on this?
Well, we got a huge issue, number one, but there's different ways to go after it. For example, treatment. You need to decrease the demand, and one way is to take somebody who's an addict and help them get off their addiction. So we have something in here to give states the way. Let's judge those treatment programs. Is it a mill just turning people out and they just get sick once more? Or no, when someone goes through it, are they healed? Are they more likely to be better off? We're giving states the ability to evaluate these different programs to help make that choice. That's one thing. We've got other things we're working on as well. But if we just keep that family and that patient and society in view, we'll do a good job.
What is a pharmacy gag clause, and what are you doing to get rid of it, and why do you want to get rid of it?
You know, if I go to church and there's a Bernie Sanders supporter and a Donald Trump supporter pulling on my lapel about the same thing, it's about high drug costs. Now, there's lots of ways to go after it. But one thing we've done is that your pharmacist may have a gag clause, meaning that they've signed a contract, basically forced to sign it, that if the patient could save money by paying cash instead of the insurance copay, the pharmacy cannot tell the patient they could save the money.
Really?
So the patient pays more. Absolutely. And if the pharmacist does tell the patient, they lose their contract and maybe can't stay in business.
Wow.
So we're going to pass legislation this week that will ban that. You want to give the patient the power, not hamstring their ability to learn that which they need to know.
When you say pass, it's in the Senate, or you mean overall?
Yeah, it's going to pass the Senate, and this is the sort of legislation that will pass the House and be signed into law. And there's actually two parts to it. One part is for Medicare patients. The other part is for the privately insured. So there'll be two separate bills going through, but they'll both pass the Senate, and I do think President Trump will sign these into law.
That's the kind of thing we as consumers never knew about. And what would you say, pulling on your lapels at church? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Tell me about this circus that was the Brett Kavanaugh hearings.
Yeah, that was, that's first time. Today's 9/11. And you think about all our country has gone through, and one of the reasons that radical jihadists hate us so much is that we actually believe that we can be governed by the people, not by a caliphate putting laws upon us from their religion, but no, by the people we can be governed. And 9/11 ever since has been kind of remembered because of our defense of that concept. I have to admit, when you see the circus of people making things up, saying that they are going to break a law, if you will, of the Senate, when indeed they're not, only to get attention to run for president, the Senate should be better than that. It should honor the principles that we've been fighting to preserve for 20 years.
Well, John McCain talked about regular order as well. It seems as though in a lot of ways people are trying to get the rule books thrown out, huh?
Well, people are running for president. When people run for president, they are going to say and do things that really they should be better than that. And so when Cory Booker says that, I'm going to be thrown out of the Senate, I'm going to release this statement, when apparently he already knows that the document has been released and there'll be no penalty for it, that's a deception. And we shouldn't be deceiving people from the podium of the Senate.
When it comes to Brett Kavanaugh, are you going to vote for him?
Oh, yeah, the guy's incredible. People on the left, judges on the left, lawyers on the left, they call him a superstar. And he's a man of high character. He's a man who truly cares about our country. So whether it's judicially or his temperament, or his patriotism, all three are beyond question by anybody but the most unreasonable. I will absolutely support Brett Kavanaugh.
In terms of the Service Academy Day, Senator, what are we doing?
Yeah. So any kid out there, I'm old enough as someone who's age 17, 18 years old, I can call a kid, who wants to go to one of the military academies, including the Coast Guard. So Air Force, Navy, or West Point. We're going to have a day in Mandeville. It's going to be our Southeast Day. It's going to be co-sponsored by John Kennedy, Cedric Richmond, and Steve Scalise. St. Tammany Parish School Board, Saturday, September 29th, 9 a.m. to noon. Registration beginning at 8:30 a.m.
And that's if you're looking for an appointment or what is it, letter of recommendation? How does that work to Service Academy?
So if you want to go to West Point, for example, typically you are appointed, nominated by your senator or representative. Each of us gets 2 slots for each academy.
Okay.
And so it's going to be on one Skipper Drive in Mandeville, but again, the 29th, 9 a.m. to noon.
All right, Andy, quickly before we go, if somebody wants to pull on your lapels in Slidell or Covington?
Yeah, if somebody wants to pull my lapel up there, I think I'm actually going to be at that one because I try and make these periodically. I was the one in New Orleans, I think, last year or the year before. On the other hand, they can also email us on our website, cassidy.senate.gov.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. And what? Yeah, we got to go. We're terribly late. I know you have stuff to do, too. Thank you, Senator Bill Cassidy, 854 Traffic Now, WWL.